See. Alrighty, so we are going to work on tactics predominantly today. Have we done this last time?
This one?
Yeah. With black to move and win?
I don't think so.
Alright, so what I would like to ask you to do, Carlo, is to give it a go. Use our checks, captures and threats holy trinity and try to figure out how black can achieve a checkmate here without any dramas whatsoever.
So I think if he plays queen h3, I think mate is unstoppable.
You are right. If we play queen h3, we get mated immediately on e8.
Oh yeah, true.
Which is why I told you to do checks, captures and threats. This is not a check, is it?
There.
So that will be the lazy way to do mates when there is no counter threat, but right now you have to work a little bit harder to actually get the mate in.
Yeah. Okay. So one check is, for example, knight e2.
Yeah.
King has to play king f1.
I disagree. Rook will take you.
Oh yeah, rook can take. Yeah, there was his mate. Yeah, so rook takes. And yeah, I don't see.
Correct.
Well,
you're right.
Yeah,
there's nothing there.
Not much. Yeah, there's much.
Okay, go on.
So instead, if I play knight h3, king f1, yeah, and again I don't see much continuation.
Good. Any checks left?
There is king as the last check is queen h2. Queen takes h2. King takes. Knight g4 check. King back to g1. And knight. I play knight h3. He has king f1 still. And then knight h2 is mate.
Booyah! Well done, sir. Well done. Now, I wanted you to struggle through this without me helping you, but here is a piece of advice that would have made your job way easier. When you are looking at your three candidates, you look at check, check, and then check, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, because of this is a check and a capture, this should have been your first candidate move.
Okay.
And then it would have been just a tad bit faster, but yeah, you solved it beautifully, so that's all good. I'm going to move on to... This is really hard, but I would like us to go through it because it features a motif that I really like. So I'm going to talk you through the first couple of moves, and then I'm going to let you solve the rest, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so the way how this puzzle starts is that it plays knight f5. The first point behind knight f5 is that it can't be taken like this because it's pinned, and it can't be taken like this because after bishop takes f5, the checkmate on here can only be stopped by shredding tons of material.
Yeah.
Okay, so f6, for example, bishop check, king here, bishop takes rook. Probably there are other very good moves too. Queen is hanging, the rook is hanging, this bishop is hanging, white is winning. So, the knight on f5 can't be captured. Instead, black played queen c5. And now we still have nothing in terms of going in there or going in there because they are both covered by the knight and the queen respectively. So white played rook e5. This move brought in another attacker. Okay. Please note, by the way, that we are still well within our Holy Trinity scheme because whilst checks and captures didn't work, our favorite threats are checkmate in 1 or attack the enemy queen. These are the most forcing threats. So we just did that. We just did that again. And now after bishop d5, we have got a stunningly beautiful forced checkmate in 4 moves. Okay? And if you are unfamiliar with this motif, it's going to be really hard to solve. So I'm trying to think about how I can give you a good clue, but for the time being, I just would like you to have a look at what you can do with the pieces on the board. I would like to give you one clue. The fact that the rook came up here was not only to attack the queen, but this rook is going to participate in the mate.
Okay.
In fact, I'm going to give you a huge clue in saying that that rook is going to be the piece that gives the checkmate.
Alright.
That sounds a little bit unreal at the moment, but yeah, you will see how it works. So let's focus on our checks.
Yeah, so there is probably like 4 queen checks.
Yes, you very quickly can eliminate many of them. This check doesn't make any sense. That check just allows the queen to come back.
Yeah.
That check for the time being does nothing. And queen check, knight takes nothing. So queen checks don't seem to go too far.
No, and so there is only the knight check. So knight check, queen can take.
In fact, it has to take, because if the king goes to the corner, then we have mate, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it has to take.
Now I am not going to give you any more clues. All I'm saying to you is it's a mate in 3.
Okay.
With forced moves all the way. Beautiful stuff. Really amazing.
So I was looking at queen takes h7, king takes h7.
Very good.
I was thinking bishop takes g6.
If you do that after pawn takes back, we've got nothing.
Yeah.
Have you got any other check after queen takes, king takes?
Yeah, there's the rook, and the pawn is pinned, so rook to h5, check.
Yeah.
And it's mate.
No, king goes back to g8.
Yeah, g8, and then rook h8 mate.
Very good, Carlo. That's the mate. Okay, remember this motif, it's very commonplace and it's truly remarkable. First we sack the knight away, then the queen, in order to open up the h file and the diagonal there, so that we have got a mate down there. Make sure that you memorize this mating pattern as best as you can, because it occurs fairly frequently.
Yep.
Alright, should we do this or should we not? Alright, you know what, just for the sake of making ourselves familiar with this motif as well, we are going to put this on the show as well. So, white move and win is what we need to do here.
I was looking at so if I play queen h8, king e7, I could play knight g6, he takes, but I don't.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any other check other than queen h8 and knight g6 that you would consider here?
The other one is, I guess, queen g7.
Yep, which gets taken and we have got nothing. And there is one more check left actually in the position.
g8.
Correct. Does that have any benefit at all?
So queen g8 gets the, yeah, because then the rook can checkmate.
So queen g8, king takes. What do you do then?
Yeah, rook h8 mate.
Hold on, we have got.
No, sorry, it's not mate.
We have a knight here.
Yeah, so knight to g6 because the pawn is pinned, and threatening mate. And
can black stop that?
No, the only way you can stop is like knight queen h5. Then
yeah, so they can delay it, but they can't stop it. Excellent job. All right, what do we do if they come here?
If they come there, I guess we play knight to g6, pawn takes, and queen to f7.
So why do you play knight g6 to get to go to f7? I don't get that.
Yeah, no, there's no need. I just take king h7 and rook d1 mate. No, it's not mate. Rook d1.
Rook d1 is alright, because I think it's going to be a transposition of moves, yes. And this is where basically black gave up. But I want you to show me here a beautiful finish off for white. White to move and win. I'm not going to tell you more because you're getting better and better at this.
So queen takes e8 and then rook h8.
Very good, Carlo. So see how aggressive forward thinking is always the way to go. Don't ever go back or look back. Very good stuff. Very, very good stuff. Okay, another very famous motif that I want you to learn and memorize. You are black. Good luck to you.
So there is a threat of mating one.
Yeah, which makes it really easy.
Yeah, so you need to constantly check, I guess. I guess it's queen h1, king takes, bishop f3, check, king g2, king g1, and rook d1.
Splendid. Check, check. And after king g1, we have got checkmate. So after all, we were the first one to score a huge mate. Alright, now this is going to be too easy for you, so I'm going to step it up a notch, if that's okay with you, and go from there. Alright, I'm curious to see if you will solve this or not. White to move and win. Again, we are only going for mate, nothing else is acceptable.
So I was looking at bishop g7, rook takes, rook c8, check, rook to g8.
Very good.
I guess I need to take the rook. I don't see any other move, so I think queen f6 it takes with the queen. So maybe if I do rook takes g8, king takes, and then queen g4, it should be mate.
I disagree. King f8.
King f8, and then queen to g7, mate.
King e8.
Okay.
And sadly,
but can you play?
I'm walking away.
Why king a8? Isn't there? Yeah, there is no bishop. Yeah, true. Okay, then no. Then if rook takes, king g8. I maybe can play queen h6.
Bishop takes
But
f5.
no, it's too slow. Yeah, it's too slow.
Yes, you're right. It's too slow. So somewhere, Carlo, you went wrong. Your first move was correct, perhaps even your second. But I want you to identify where the mistake was made.
That's probably the takes the rook because the king can escape, I guess. So bishop g7, rook takes, rook c8, king, rook back to g8. And then I could play immediately. I could play immediately queen g4, and I don't see how he can stop. I don't see how he can stop either mate. So he can stop he can take the knight, but then I take on g8 and it's mate.
Very good, Carlo. That's it.
Or
So
he can
bishop
take the
here
rook.
and queen g4. Spot on. Excellent work. Do I want to give you something very tough? This is actually an amazing game. Black already sacrificed 2 pieces to get here. You know what? I will leave it on because this is such a beautiful, beautiful position and an amazing mate that it deserves to be shown. In case I make it a video, and I'm pretty sure also that you will be very proud of yourself when you crack it. So it's black to move, and I will give you a hint. It's either win a lot of material or it's a force mate.
I think I saw this game.
Oh, that makes me all the happier.
But I mean, I think I remember this game. It's the one, yeah, where he sacrifices a lot of stuff. I think he. So I'm thinking about. So bishop to g4.
Yeah. Looks good to me.
King takes. Yeah, king takes. Yeah, I don't see many other checks there. I guess. Well, I guess h5.
King back.
King back, and yeah, I don't see much advantage. Well, no. Bishop g4, queen takes. The other check is, I guess, knight e5, but pawn takes. But then the rook is open. Yeah, so I'm not really sure. Is the bishop move is correct?
All right, I'm not going to answer that question, but I'm going to tell you one thing, Carlo. When it comes to a king chase like this, the further out you force the king, the more likely it gets mated. In fact, once it gets to a position like this, your number one objective is to try to force it even further out.
Okay.
That's all the hints you are going to get from me. You will be able to solve this. I know you will.
Okay. So I guess, yeah, I think then in that case, I mean, bishop g4 is reasonable. King takes to push him further. Queen h5, king takes.
Yeah, you have not enough there. So whilst
No,
it
no,
looks very, very clever what you're doing, but now you need a few pieces left to be able to
Yeah.
checkmate. So at one point, Carlo, in your calculations, you missed the mate in 1.
Okay. Yeah, I missed because I said I would take with the pawn while so so bishop g4, knight, king takes g4. So if
did knight e5 feel good or not?
Not really, but so knight e5, pawn takes, and
give me a check.
Yeah.
Because right now the white king has 0 squares to go
h5.
to. Yeah.
And h5, and it's mate.
It
no.
is mate, Carlo. You need to believe, my friend. Believe in yourself. This is a stunningly beautiful mate.
It's crazy.
It is shockingly awesome. Okay, always when the king is out, make sure that you do your utmost to lure it further out to give it a mate. I'm going to show you a game here, now that I remember this, to show you this team in a very different scenario. Do you know what this opening is called?
Najdorf? No, I don't know.
No, this is called the King's Indian.
Okay.
King's Indian defense. Believe it or not, but this h3 move here is actually a losing move that I just played. And I can't draw an arrow. Why can't I draw an arrow? Oh, there we go. Because of knight takes f2. Which looks like a very, very unlikely scenario to succeed, because black's pieces are totally at home. And yet, sometimes, this is how chess works, we can pull the bunny out of the hat. What do you think is a very good attacking move here for black?
Queen h4.
Very good. Now, whilst this knight is pinned, so can't take there, the queen is attacking this knight, and so I have got two choices, either king e3 or knight g3. What would you do after knight g3?
E4.
Very good. E4, and now you are going to regain at least one of the pieces, and after ef3, d4 is going to be super weak as well. Plus this pin is incredibly difficult to get out of. So in order to avoid this, white played king e3. How do you continue the attack now, based on what I told you about trying to lure the king further out?
I was thinking bishop h6, but it doesn't hurt him at all. So
I would continue that line if I were you.
Okay.
I'm almost always after lines, Carlo, when it comes to answering my questions rather than single moves.
Okay. Bishop h6, king d3. Um, so yeah, rook takes doesn't look good.
I agree, and that doesn't actually bring out the king. What
No.
would bring out the king?
The only move is probably queen takes e4.
Okay, do you see a follow-up if the king takes back?
The king takes back. I could play bishop f5. King to d5.
Alright, tell me, do you think it's gonna be made or not? Would you be confident enough to sack the queen away for that position?
No. I don't know. I mean, it's... You could continue there, but I don't... The pieces look very...
Very what?
They're still very undeveloped, and I mean...
Okay, I will set it up, Carlo, because I'm very curious whether you will change your mind. So are you telling me that you don't feel confident that you can checkmate this king here?
I don't see the continuation right now, so...
I don't want you to see it. I asked you if you can, if you think it's a gut feeling that I'm after. Is it gonna be made or not?
I guess if you ask now, yeah, it's I mean, yeah, the king is very much exposed, so yeah.
Yeah, Carlo, yeah. I tell you my rule of thumb: if the king is lured out to the 4th rank, regardless of what was sacrificed, I'm already very confident with what's happening. If it's onto the 5th, I can guarantee you it's dead meat. There's no way. Right now, it doesn't have any squares to go to, so it's a minor miracle that we don't have a mate in one already, but we don't. Yeah. The only check that we can give actually allows the king to move. Having said that, it forced the king even further up. Now, this king from here walked away all the way to here. And we are saying, yeah, nah, I don't think it's gonna be a mate. Yeah, I think it is gonna be a mate.
Yeah.
And your job is to find it now, Carlo. That's the good news for you.
Rook f6, king takes e5. Well, it's not the only move he can play, actually.
No, well, but I'm happy to calculate with that.
So if he takes e5, then knight to d7 should be mate, is it? Yeah, it is. If he doesn't take, then he can play only c7, king c7.
Actually, I have got all the 4 diagonal moves available, which is actually a theme in problem composing. It's called the king star motif.
Okay. I guess I could play, if it goes to e7, I would probably play bishop f8.
Your rook is hanging on f6, my friend.
Yeah. Okay then. Rook to e6.
Yeah.
No. Rook to e6 and
king down here.
Yeah, and then knight out to, I guess, d7 and
king takes.
And
why wouldn't you put the knight here rather than?
No, I thought there was a bit. I miscalculated.
So yeah, so knight a6 check. My king goes back to e6.
Yeah. And then rook to f6 is not mate. No.
It's made in 2 now, Carlo. Let's find it.
Check.
So your rook is here, my king is here, and your knight is here.
Yeah. So if I play rook f6, then he can go back to
E7.
e7, and then I don't see.
I'm 18-1, so let's forget about rook f6.
Then rook e8.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, rook e8.
Go on.
If I play rook e8, his only move is if I play rook e8, his only move is I don't see a move actually.
Well, keep looking then.
Take pawn, I guess. No,
Nope.
there was.
Pawn
I know
is-
because it's there. So yeah. The king d6.
Correct. And mate in 1.
And then is it bishop to f8?
Yeah, that's mate, and rook a8 would be mate too. Good job,
Yeah.
Carlo. Now, I don't want to waste too much time with this puzzle, but the point is that actually, rather than this check leads to easier mates, because after this check, king c7, I'm threatening to walk away here, and so you are forced back to here, and after king d6, I don't think that there is a fast enough mate here, not to my recollection anyway, not one that works with force, because the problem is that if you drop back after king e5, I can start walking away towards f4. So in fact, the best way to go about business is to give this check.
Yep.
Now if they go here, then we have a very similar mating pattern like this. If they go to e7, then we have check here, check, and mate. And at last but not at least, if they play in this position, king takes, then again after check here, there are a variety of ways how you can mate. My favorite one is check. If king takes, then bishop f8 is mate. And if they go here, then check, and mate again. The king always gets punished. That's what we need to take away from this. Okay, one last, and then we are going to have a brief look at your games to see how things are going, if that's all right with you.
Yep.
Okay, let me just find. Okay, that will do. White to move and win. I want mate.
So Knight c7. I don't really see how it adds anything.
Neither do I.
Queen takes d7. Rook takes. Yeah, that's it. Knight to c7. Rook takes. And knight d8. Wait.
Rook d8. Excellent job.
Yeah.
Excellent job. Very well done, Carlo. Okay, that was really, really good. It was quite impressive. Actually, it went way better than I expected. So, what we are going to do now is that we are going to have a look at just give me a second. I'm going to eliminate window capture. Delete, remove. Goodo, and we are back to your profile. So, let's have a look at your fantastic games.
They're not so fantastic.
Beg your pardon?
It wasn't a great week, but yeah.
Ah, that's alright, don't worry about that. Okay, let's go back to the beginning. Okay, e4, c6. I've got a bit of a deja vu that we have seen this already, Carlo, before.
Also.
But maybe we haven't. Okay, just a bit of a heads up. I really don't like impulsive bishop moves in the openings. There is a rule of thumb, knights before bishops, which your opponent is doing, although this knight is not necessarily best to develop there, but let's not talk about that now. But definitely knight out first before you develop your bishops here would have been somewhat wiser. Now we got away with it, and now there is a pin here, right?
Yeah.
And your opponent plays a move, a bishop move that is supposedly defended by a knight, that in return is pinned by your bishop.
Yeah.
That is screaming for tactics. Absolutely screaming.
Fair enough.
So tell me please what we missed here.
Yeah, I guess you... So if you take with the queen, he takes with the knight, but it's not really good. So I would take the knight first.
Correct. And it wins a piece. End of the game, Carlo.
Yeah.
That's it. They take your queen, you take your queen, they take, you take, you won a piece.
Yeah.
This is how your games are 100% Carlo decided by tactics.
Yeah.
And this is why I keep on making you do it and preach about it so much. This game could have been over literally on move 6.
Yeah.
That's it. Move 6, tactical blunder, game over. Okay, this is a little bit greedy for my liking. I would have gone with knight f5.
Yeah.
Because it attacks here, it attacks there, and it attacks here. That's a lot of attacks.
Yeah.
I'll show you tactics here. Queen g4, knight takes d4. This is what we call an overloaded piece, when the queen has to guard two things at once. It can't do it. And they can't sack the knight away now before they take on here, because if this knight goes anywhere, I take with check here. So they must take, and after queen takes, we are a pawn up and we're totally winning. Now you're totally winning here too, for the record. Oh, I'm a bit worried about g4 now, my friend. Yeah, so he has got one threat, and one threat only. And that is this. We must stop that.
So h5?
That is way too drastic for my liking, although it does do it.
Or move the knight, I guess. So knight. Oh yeah.
That's the whole point of g4.
And then g6.
Okay, g6 is one way to do it. You could have done that perfectly fine. H6 is another way to do it. And I really like queen b6 or queen f6. It's a bit tricky to see what it does, but you can see that again, tactics, 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 queen takes d4. And now, if queen swap, then obviously there is no mate. If the queen drops back, I can take this for free. And now the knight has been cemented in like crazy. So there were a lot of ways to deal with this Carlo. Certainly knight c6 wasn't one of them. Yeah, okay, so I wouldn't open up the H file here. If I were you, I would go like, okay, I have already taken a pawn. I will take a second, I will take a third. Now this knight is rock solid, nothing can hurt it. I have got 7 pawns versus 4, so technically, materially we are even, and he has got a very wobbly king that is not gonna feel safe on either end of the board.
Yeah.
Because after H6, yeah, we are going for a self-mate here.
Here I screwed up. Yeah.
In this position, your only move is queen g5. You need this queen in the defense.
Yeah.
Especially because now we can handle f takes e. Actually, I think after f6 here, we are still dead.
Yeah.
What should we do here? Ah, I reckon we should take this. Yes, that's... This is tricky business. Okay, so Stockfish reckons that this is survivable. What I didn't see here is that what do we do against f6 again, or maybe queen g6? This looks very, very wobbly to me. Yeah, Stockfish tricked me because this after f6 we are lost. So I think overall we are lost here. G6. What about if we take? Is there a mate here?
I'm still lost, yeah.
It looks that lost, but not as that lost as G6, because here you basically just allowed mate in 2, whereas I'm not seeing a mate in 2 after G takes F6. It looks suicidal, but you are kicking for the time being. Wow. Here G6 I think is the best way to play it for white. And after takes, look at this Carlo, you will love this. Check, there, and mate. Wow! But even if you do see this, there are a lot of ways and times and occasions for white to go wrong here. Many a player would be very tempted to give a check here and then take this with a check, and then take this with a check, and all of a sudden their attack is gone.
Yeah.
And you're back in the game. G6 is an absolute beauty here.
Yeah.
Radio. That was a little bit unfortunate considering that we could have won on move 6.
Yeah.
But hey, stuff happens. Okay, 10 minutes, we won. Okay, let's see how this one went. Remember, Carlo, I think I did tell you this already once, but if not, I'm going to tell you again. When your opponent develops a knight and it can be attacked by a pawn move, it almost always is the best move to play.
Okay.
Simply because now the knight has to move again, which is something they don't want to do whilst you are gaining space in the center. Also, I don't have any good squares to go to, and knight b4 drops the knight because of this check.
Yep.
Oopsies. And e3 is very passive anyway. Why wouldn't you go to e4?
Yep.
So there are a few issues there. Okay. Tactics, tactics, tactics. Carlo missed a very, very basic attacking pattern here. So now you tell me what you missed.
Knight, bishop takes f7. King takes.
So this is again a very, very basic, very common attacking pattern that should be engraved in your brain, because as you can see on this level, people miss it left and right and center. Typical mistake of pinning a piece without guarding the pinning piece. So with the knight and f6, that would be perfect. Without it, it's a disaster. Okay, I'm very puzzled about this. Can you please explain to me why I played rook e1?
Yeah, just because he felt there was a better place for the rook. But
okay, I've got a few problems with that. Number one, I don't know what your plan is. Number two, this is not developed, and so this shouldn't enjoy priority.
So how would you play in this position?
Okay, so here is what I'm thinking. Number one, I can attack this queen by bringing a piece to the center. That is going to be very difficult to beat as a candidate move. Okay, and depending on where this queen is going, I'm going to continue my plans afterwards. If the queen drops back to d7, I would go queen a4. We castled our kings opposite sides. You should attack here. And I don't care about this at all. There's nothing in front of my king that can attack me. Plus I'm dominating the center. And my next two moves, it could either be bishop b5, but I'm much more like bishop d2 and then rook fc1, bringing the rook into the attack.
Okay.
So these are, that would be one of the things that I would consider. The immediate queen a4 is also very powerful, because now you're threatening with knight b5, knight a7. So they have to make some sort of concession, because ideally they would want to continue developing now, but they can't because of knight b5, knight a7 is pending.
Yeah.
So these will be the moves I'm thinking, because after rook e1 I still don't know what the next move is gonna be. Oh my god. Okay, I don't get what we're doing here. Why don't you just drop back? Because what's the plan after knight takes back? Yeah, you just gave up your best attacking piece, Carlo. All you needed to do is drop back, b4, b5, white 1. Okay, you have got a crystal clear target to attack. He has got nothing here. You have got an incredibly powerful bishop. No way on earth I would ever give it up unless I gained a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. Like, there was no apparent gain linked to this move at all. It was a hope that your opponent would go crazy, which they did, but come on. Like, after knight takes, you've got nothing here.
Yeah.
So that was a really sad move on strategical grounds, and it's actually very unusual for your play. Normally you tend to be very powerful and crystal clear-headed in how to conduct these attacks. Oh, whoa. Oh, okay. C6 is hanging. All good. What? Alright, I don't understand what's going on, Carlo. Your opponent attacks your queen and your bishop.
Yeah.
You have a move, in fact, two that guards both.
Yeah, I don't know.
You chose not to do that,
I'm not really...
because now after takes you get to take a free piece here.
Yeah.
And then you don't do it. I'm confuzzled, my friend. I'm confuzzled.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Was it time travel?
Yeah. Terrible game.
Yeah. We really need to stay focused all the way to the end so that these things don't happen. Because that was an already totally won game and it nearly slipped out of your hands. So we have white here again, yeah?
Yeah.
How do I know it again? Whatever. I believe you that you're white. Yeah, I can see it in the other window. Okay. So, knight f3. Okay, if you are a d4 player, Carlo, in this position, and in fact, regardless of what player you are, knight f3 transposes you to the Sicilian, and I believe that d5 is a thematic move that is way stronger. Because it takes space away, denies the knight's development, It's just the thematic move to push in. Of course, you being Italian, obviously you go for the Sicilian, right?
Yeah.
Being a local patriot, even though I'm guessing that you're not that part of Italy, but hey. Alright, my friend, what do you think you should have done here?
Yeah, again, d5 probably.
d5, even stronger than before. Because now there are lots of ways to lose it for black. For example, takes knight, he loses a piece. You tell me how.
Queen e2 and
if black plays d6, we win a piece by what?
sorry, if he plays
d6.
Then yeah. Then I play I was thinking bishop b5.
You mean that you're going to jump over your own queen?
No, yeah. I don't know. I don't see a continuation then.
Okay, does this strike you as an aggressive move?
No.
Okay, what would strike you as an aggressive
d6.
move? That is an aggressive move.
Okay.
And no matter where the knight goes, literally, check.
Okay, yeah, and the only way to defend it, it takes with the pawn. Okay.
I wouldn't even take it. Like after bishop e7, I wouldn't take this. Because that would release the knight. I would just keep on developing. I would wait for him to struggle. Of course, he will eventually take it, but currently it's such a paralyzing effect that I don't want to give it up. Anyway, yeah, bishop b5, not good. Okay, now you had two very good ways to attack the knights and you did neither.
I remember for next time.
Yep, good. Well, I'm not rubbing it in, I'm just telling you that these would have been the correct moves. Aren't we getting trapped there?
Yeah, we are. In fact, we did.
Right, so either take or drop back would have been a way to go. Just sped it up to see if there was anything else to see after. Oh my god. And we lost this game?
Yeah, something that must happen.
Okay, so queen a5 all the time, Carlo. The usual question is, why did they do this? Why can't I draw a rose again? They want to take here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so rook e1 guards it, queen e4, queen e3, all those funky moves. Best is queen e2, I would probably like develop more, but the point of queen e2 is that you want to play c4, and by playing c4 you will also defend the pawn on a2. Yeah, this is awkward now. Not again. As in, now it's not awkward. Wow. Your opponent played this game horrendously badly. Oh man. No.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know what the worst part of it is, Carlo? That after takes, no matter what takes back, you can swap the rooks off too, because if king takes, you take, if rook takes, then check, and the rooks are gone, and you are 17 pawns up.
I want to say now, yeah.
Oh man, wow. You poor thing.
Yeah, no,
I feel sorry for you for that, because you had that game won so many times. Alright, let's have a look at this one last. What am I doing? This board is always handy. Alright, let's go. Okay, what are we supposed to do here, sir?
Takes?
Correct.
No.
That's why that's why you're playing c4, Carlo. You are threatening to take the pawn on d5, forcing them to take back with a piece, so that then after knight c3, e4 conquers the whole center.
Yeah.
There are only 3 acceptable answers to this move. c6, e6, and takes. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, knight c6 is still played fairly frequently, but yeah, immediately take. If knight takes e4 and the opening has already been a total triumph to you, dominating
Yeah.
the center. I'm not sure if I like this, but there is one tactics here that I quite like that could come afterwards, so let me see what you did after. Okay. I really don't like this, although it could possibly be good, but what do you think, Carlo, about this?
Yeah.
See, the point is that now we crack them on the d5 square so hardcore that I don't even see what they can do. If they take either d5 and
Yeah.
one, well, if they don't take, then good luck for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's game over. And that's the only reason why you would take this, because I hate to give up bishops for knights. Especially when it allows them to take back and, make the development faster. Oh, we did do it. Good. Very good. Okay. I would definitely have taken the bishop rather than the knight. Take, knight f3 followed by bishop c4, hunting that dude down too.
Yeah.
I have a very big respect for bishops, Carlo. I hope you saw that check.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Man. Yeah, this I don't really like the way how it's going. Like after queen here, this is hanging, this is hanging. It's just a mess. Yeah, I really don't like what happened here. First of all, well, bishop c4 was a very unfortunate blunder, especially in the light of the fact that you could have played d5, creating a beautiful chain that basically would have given this bishop a lot of grief.
Yeah.
And then if you are desperate to swap that bishop, you can offer a swap here, or you can offer even a swap here. And then get the knight out in castle. But this way, you blundered one of your most beautiful pawns followed by a piece, which luckily your opponent didn't see. Oh god. I see nothing wrong with king up followed by rook here, rather than voluntarily pinning it, but probably either is fine. Was there anything wrong with taking this? Because this looks to me like a silly bluff.
Yeah.
And I don't believe my opponent's bluffs, Carlo. If I consider it to be good, I play it, regardless of who played it against me. Okay, this is again very passive. Very, very, very passive. I don't like this knight d2 business. Funnily enough, I would have gone back here, which forces queen's swap, because if the queen goes, I can take that.
Yeah.
Okay, that was good. I really hate to go backwards, as you know.
No.
Yeah, what I was looking at, you could have gone d4 and potentially jump in, but yeah, it is risky. Let's just play it safe. Oh, that's neat. I like that. Oh, Carlo the Cruel. Good job. Good job. Alright. My other student is not here, so we have time for one last one.
All right.
To see... Oh, lots of victories here.
Yeah, it was a good streak, but quality.
What happened here? Okay, let's see. Okay, what do you think you should have done here?
D5, D4?
Correct. F3. Wow. Now, what do you think you should do here? Because the move you played is inaccurate, and I want you to understand it why, and I also want you to tell me what you should have played instead.
Maybe E5?
Correct. Because now your opponent wants to play D4. So it is your utmost interest to stop it. As a side effect, now you are threatening with take, followed by check, check.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh god. Your opponent is really asking for it. Okay. What's the point of playing H6 here?
Yeah, I mean, to give a space to the bishop. And,
okay, so what is H5 threatening with?
Well, I take the knight, I guess.
Correct. So now it's an occasion, Carlo, where you have to measure up different values. So you know that I always preach about we prefer bishops over knights. However, your opponent has already played 1-2 moves that are an utter disaster. Not developing, not doing anything for the center. So now it's your time to just do that. Develop and put your stuff in the center. And look at it, like he hasn't done anything else but play stupid pawn moves and created a ton of weaknesses in his own camp. And consequently, he's borderline lost. So I don't think that H6 is necessary here, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Okay, now tactics again.
Yep.
Yeah. And also, I would rather play E5 than Knight F6, but let's just go with it now. What was your opponent's rating in this game?
Very low.
It's the same as your rating, and that guy has no idea about how to move chess pieces. Like, I always had the feeling that you were ridiculously underrated. Okay. Carlo to move and win. This is your last tactics for the day, Carlo.
Queen A5. And no.
Actually, I didn't even look at Queen A5, but that is stupidly strong too, because after B4 we have Queen E5. Wow.
Oh yeah, okay, no, I didn't see that.
Because what I was looking at was Knight G3, Rook he takes, and Bishop here.
Okay.
But then I realized that after Knight G3 they can come here to guard the D3 pawn. Now, having said that, even here after takes E5,
still,
you're way ahead. But then I actually prefer your check, followed by Queen E5.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Which creates 1, 2, and a zillion knight discover check threats.
Yeah.
So that would have been super splendid. Now, yeah, Knight G5 is very random. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know, yeah.
Alright. Tactics, my friend, is a way of life. And I would recommend you, Carlo. I think I did make that suggestion already, but if not, then I'm going to say it now, that I see that you're playing a lot of games with 10-0. If possible, if I were you, I would chuck in some increment. Even if it's just a second or two, just to avoid the nonsense in the end when you can't win a game because you don't have enough time.
Okay.
Because it's frustrating. I want you to be able to play chess, not to prove that you can move the mouse faster than your opponent.
Yep.
Okay, so let's stay focused on the tactics, Carlo. I will be very, very surprised, and probably I said this too, but I have to repeat myself, if your rating is not going to boost up by at least a couple of hundreds in the next few months, because your chess is way better than 1200, but so many games go away from us because if we are not exploiting our potential chances. So yeah, let's work on that. I'm very hopeful that we will get there, like the 1500 level, very, very, very soon.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Alrighty, Carlo. Thank you very much. I have
Thank
to
you.
make a move now. Do you want to book in next now, or you will be sending me a message later?
We can do with check, but next week looks good.
Same time?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. So that was 7 to 8. Good-o.
Yeah. Great.
Done, dusted, sir. You are booked in.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Best of luck. By the way, your two fellow Italians are playing in the Australian Open, Seppi and Fognini, and they are both doing really well.
Yeah, exactly. I saw you're passionate about tennis. Yeah.
Actually, Seppi beat fellow Hungarian Marton Fucovic in the Canberra Challenger finals, which was a big heartbreak for me. I went out there and I was cheering for the Hungarian guy, but Seppi came out best. So yeah, consequently, I will have to charge more for this lesson. I'm kidding. All right.
It's fair.
You have a top day, Carlo, and I will see you in a week, mate.
Right.
All right.
Thank you.
Mate, bye.
Bye. Thank you.